Hi, my name is Fran and this is The Creative's Edge. I am the owner and director of Lelo Living, which is a homewares brand, and I've run creative businesses my entire adult life. And I'm here to teach you all the things that I've learned from that to hopefully make it easier for you to get whatever creativity that is inside you out and in front of people. I made so many mistakes with Etsy when I started out. Photography is like the number one thing for Etsy, and it took me a really long time to sort my photography out and make it what Etsy wants, really. Which for Etsy mostly, because they're a white background website, they want light, bright photos. Or if you're going to do a pattern disrupt and do a dark photo, it's got to be a really good quality one, and I was not great. I'd do a dark photo thinking that I was being different, and actually I was just being a bit rubbish at photography. So now I've got really hot on my photography, and then I've got really good at things like the tags are the next most important thing, and I've got really good at researching tags. I mean, I use eRank, whereas I think most people use Marmalade, but it's just pulling tags through and checking them off against the biggest selling products in that category. You just pull them through, look at what tags they're using and what the frequency of those tags is. So you pick a mixture of high frequency and low frequency words, ones that describe what your customer would be looking for, not necessarily describing your product as well. Which when I first started, I would just describe this is a red thing, and people don't search for red thing, they search for a gift for so-and-so or a product that does this thing. And I completely didn't think that through when I first started. And I think also, just generally, as you start to have a bit of success, you see where things make a big difference and where things don't make a big difference. And then you just have the occasional unicorn that just does random stuff and you have no idea why. Initially, it was trial and error when I first started out as to learning new techniques and new things. I reached out in groups. I was in a number of seller groups for things, and they are so helpful for you being able to leapfrog your knowledge forward. And I had a friend who came and showed me, for instance, with photography, stupid things like if you get your upright things in your photograph to be perfectly upright, your everything looks better. If it's slightly off and you haven't noticed, it's just subconsciously puts your photograph out. And it's little things like that that make a big difference in your photography skills or in your general listing skills. And those groups, a little anecdote can really help you improve your knowledge. I also hired professionals. For instance, my photography massively increased when I hired a professional photo shoot company, and they did things that I've never seen done before, and it just suddenly went, oh yeah, why don't I do that? And things like that make a big difference. Things like, I used to make sure that everything actually had to work exactly as it should be. If you see a door in a photo, it has to be a door, and things like that. And it's really silly that it just has to look right for the photo instead of actually be right. And trying to make things be right is so much more expensive and difficult that it's just not worth trying. Initially, we used to photograph in the dog room in my house, which is a tiny little room in which the dogs sleep in, and it's like this big. And that's all I used for photography, because you can wipe the space and you can create a backdrop that you can hang things from. And it's really simple, and you can just put in some simple props. But since we've moved to the warehouse, we've created a giant studio space and little setups. So now I have a marble topped piece of furniture, because marble is great for Etsy. It's white, but it's got a bit of interest to it and everything pops off it. And it's all in quite a light space as well. There's overhead natural lighting, which is another key thing for Etsy. They like natural lighting, and it's so much harder to recreate it than it is to just have it in the first place. And then we just have simple props, really simple things that are small enough that you can have varying different heights in your products, and different enough that you can just pop them around a bit and create lots of different settings with minimal effort. a number of things that we sell hang off of walls, and it's a lot harder to use real walls than it is to use fake ones. So we have just painted up some boards in different colours, so that once you're far enough back to photograph them, you can't tell that they're boards, and you can swap them in and out really quickly and easily and cheaply, and it's so much easier to angle them to light and to put fittings through from the back rather than fit them actually into the wall. Makes things so much quicker, so much easier, and so much cheaper as well.